In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, a phenomenon swept across Europe and America that's as disturbing as it is rarely discussed: human zoos. These were not places of amusement in the traditional sense, but exhibitions where people, often from colonized nations, were displayed for the entertainment of the public. Today, we delve into a chilling chapter of history when individuals were not only marginalized but showcased as public spectacles, treated as curiosities rather than human beings. The idea of human zoos was born out of the colonial era's obsession with categorizing and ranking everything: plants, animals, and, disturbingly, people. European imperialism wasn't just about conquering land. It was about asserting cultural dominance. These exhibitions claimed to showcase the exotic and primitive peoples of colonized territories, reinforcing racist ideologies of the time. From the late 1800s to the mid-1900s, human zoos were featured in major cities around the world, attracting millions of visitors. They weren't obscure or fringe. They were mainstream attractions, endorsed by governments, anthropologists, and public institutions alike. The 1889 Paris World's Fair, for example, drew nearly 28 million visitors, many of whom flocked to the Negro Village, a recreation of African life populated by real African men, women, and children. Among the many heartbreaking stories is that of Ota Benga, a Congolese man who became a victim of this inhumane practice. In 1906, he was placed in the Bronx Zoo, housed in the primate exhibit. The message was clear: he was seen as less than human. Crowds came to gawk, laugh, and point. Imagine the pain and humiliation of being stripped of your identity, reduced to a spectacle for others' amusement. These exhibitions often featured constructed villages designed to highlight the so-called savagery of non-Western cultures. Indigenous peoples were forced to reenact traditional dances, cook their food in public, and perform ceremonies under the watchful eyes of curious spectators. Every aspect of their lives was commodified, manipulated, and decontextualized to fit a narrative of Western superiority. For those on display, the experience was dehumanizing and traumatic. Many were taken from their homes under false pretenses, promised jobs or opportunities, only to find themselves imprisoned in a foreign land. Others were outright kidnapped, treated as property by those who claimed to be their guardians. Karl Hagenbeck, a German businessman, is often credited as a pioneer of these human zoos. He combined his zoological displays with human exhibitions, using elaborate settings to portray indigenous people as part of nature's untamed wilderness. This formula proved wildly popular, setting the stage for decades of exploitation. Hagenbeck's model influenced world fairs, circuses, and even museums, blending entertainment with a veneer of education. One of the largest of these events was the 1931 Paris Colonial Exhibition, which drew 33 million visitors. It celebrated France's colonial empire, presenting colonies as extensions of French greatness. Visitors wandered through mock villages representing territories from Africa, Asia, and the Pacific. But beneath the glamour of the event was a dark truth. Real people were paraded like objects, their humanity ignored in favor of spectacle. By the mid-20th century, the tide began to turn. As the horrors of colonialism and racism became harder to ignore, human zoos fell out of favor. However, their legacy lingers. The racial hierarchies they promoted seeped into academic thought, media, and public perception, leaving a shadow that still influences society today. Historians and anthropologists now examine human zoos as a case study in the dehumanization of the other. These exhibitions weren't just displays. They were propaganda tools, designed to justify oppression and exploitation. Today, museums and educators face the challenge of confronting this history head-on. It's uncomfortable but necessary. Acknowledging the past is the first step toward understanding its lingering effects. By examining these events, we can better understand the roots of prejudice and work toward dismantling them. History should not be forgotten. Let these images remind us of the importance of empathy, equality, and the shared humanity of all people. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more stories captured through time. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest releases. See you in the next video.